Hello everyone, welcome to our Tech Talk. Today we are going to talk about performance testing. Our speaker today is Camila. Camila will talk about her experience in performance testing, about some interesting tools, and also we'll have recording. And now you can write your comments in the chat, and in the end I will read all your questions and we will answer. Camila, are you with us?
Yes, good morning.
Hello. Okay, please share your screen.
Okay, let me take a second. Okay, I hope you can see it and we will start.
Can you please do it in full? Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
So, yeah, hi everyone again. Thank you for joining to our Tech Talk. And today we are going to talk about Apache JMeter software testing tool and some cases when the JMeter is used to implement backend performance test scripts. And our tech talk consists of two main parts. The first is the theoretical one, when we have a general overview of performance testing theory. And the second is practical part, when we will try to create our first JMeter script. And after that, as Arina already mentioned, we will have Q&A part. So if you have any questions, please write down your question to the chat, and we will go through them after the presentation. So just a few words about me. My name is Camila. I have about 3 years I've been working in software testing for almost 3 years, and I have production experience in introducing a lot testing to project from scratch. And today we will overview some tips and tricks related to Apache JMeter and backend performance testing. So as for requirement classification, I guess all of you know that performance testing is a part of non-functional testing, and performance of a software system as a quality characteristics that indicate system's ability to be as powerful, as capable, fast, reliable as it's required. And performance tests are divided by load type to load testing, thread testing, scalability, capability testing, and so on. And also they are divided into server-side and client-side or UI tests. Today we are going to have an overview of server-side tests. So to carry out effective performance testing, we should use specialized tools in order to simulate real user traffic, in order to measure and collect the metrics and have a possibility to analyze the results. And such tools should be able to simulate real-world scenarios and user traffic patterns accurately. It allows us to generate realistic loads and test the system performance under different user loads and conditions. And then, in accordance with exported reports, we can provide analysis of results to apply the fixes and test our environment to track if the performance is affected or not. And one of the most popular performance testing tools is JMeter. It's open source and it can simulate heavy loads on web applications, The huge plus is that it provides graphical user interface that is very convenient and simplifies the effort done on implementing the scripts. Also, JMeter can be used to test the performance of static and dynamic resources, web services, and databases. It can simulate user behavior by mimicking user interactions with the application. And a few words about defining process of performance testing. Usually it consists of 6 main parts, and after identifying our test environment, we should also identify the performance acceptance criteria to determine the goals and constraints and to gather requirements related to desired throughput, response time, and resource allocation. Then we have planning and design side, when we should determine how usage is likely to vary, because it's necessary to simulate a variety load of end users and to plan performance test data and to outline the metrics that will be collected. And arranging the tools and other resources, preparing test environment, and implementing the script, I think they one simple stages. After that, we usually have test running or test execution stage, and the process of analyzing, optimizing, and retesting, applying some fixes, fine-tuning starts. And now it's time to have some practice with the JMeter script. I'll stop sharing and reshare my screen in order to provide you a view for JMeter. So hopefully you can see it. And today we are going to use this online store as an example for our demo. And we are going to use JMeter Chrome extension in order to record the script, in order to record all the requests and corresponding data to this request to simplify the process of creating JMeter script and to not do all the work from scratch. As you can see, it can be found in Chrome Web Store, and I've already set it up. So we can open the JMeter window, specify the name of JMX or JMeter script, and start the recording. So our first step is just opening the site. Next, we will go to login Chrome, and I've already prepared a test user. Let me put the credentials in. Okay, as you can see, login is successful, and we have the changed view of menu where we have my account and logout options. And now we can open any category like electronics. Let me open camera and video, and then we can open a cart page and add the product to cart. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, as I received some messages related to the problem with sharing my screen. Okay, let me try to fix it quickly. Sharing my screen, window, entire screen. Okay. I hope it will be better now. Please notify me if there will be any issues. So I should start from the beginning, I think. So we have a Chrome Web Store where JMeter can be found. And I've already set it up. And yeah, let me then stop the recording and log out. Yeah, sorry for inconvenience, guys, and thank you for notifying me about this issue. And in this JMeter window, we can specify the name of our JMX script. We will start the recording. The first step will be just opening the site, then going to login form, and we already have prepared data. We put it in. So as you can see, a user is now logged in, and we have a specific view of user menu that includes my account and logout options. And now we can navigate via this store menu. Let me just open any product cart and add it to cart. As you can see, there is a pop-up message saying that the request was successful. And our final step will be just opening the shopping cart and checking that the item is initially here. That's it for the scenario that will be recorded, so we can stop it and then open the Voicemeter view again. So the script was saved, and we can click on Edit Form to see this Voicemeter view with all the requests, all the necessary data related to the recorded script. And I'm already logged in, that's why I have a possibility to export the JMeter script of JMeter format. And while we are uploading it, let me just launch my application. I have Windows system, that's why I should launch JMeter bat file. Let me do that. So yeah, a few words about JMeter view. On the top, we have a toolbar with different options, tools that can be used during debugging process and the process of creating test plan. Here we have a test plan section, and here we will see all the requests, all the configuration files that are related to our script, to our test plan. And here is a context window with some information about parameters, visibility to set them up, and so on. So now we can open the downloaded script. Here it is, demo, and as you can see, we have all the steps recorded, and Voicemeter recording extension is quite convenient, as in cases when we use internal script recorder of JMeter, of a few tools, as there is a lot of requests and it can be really difficult to sort them out. And in this case, we have only requests related to server side for our side, of course. And we have all the necessary components like configuration components that allows JMeter to simulate real browser's behavior. As you can see, it's cache, cookie, authorization managers. And also we have a header manager, and the headers are sent for all the requests within the test plan. And commonly used user-defined variables is a set of variables that should be used within this thread. So if we specify this value and this name, we can refer to this value in all the requests. As you can see in this form, the value of variable is extracted. So let's proceed with the main part. We are interested only in a few steps, so I'll remove all unnecessary scenes. And yeah, we have only 5 steps now. No, we should have 4 steps. Okay, basically it seems that's it. And your question is why it's so simple? Like, we've just started the recording and we have the recorded script, and is that it? Actually, no. And we can use some components provided by JMeter to debug the test and to verify if it's initially enough only to record the script, if it has all the necessary data, and we can proceed with the data set part. So commonly used component is a listener view results tree. If we run the tests, we will see information about execution. I will remove these timers in order to save some time. So if we run the tests, there will be results of our execution. And yeah, I actually forgot to rename it. Let me quickly fix that. So it's open site login. It will be just more convenient to debug it via results tree. Add to cart and open cart. We renamed it, and actually we can see that the first request that corresponds to opening site request is successful. And in response data, if we go to HTML view, we will see that, yeah, actually site was opened and we have the forms, the menu, and so on. But there is an error that occurs for the second login step. And let's take a look what is wrong with that. So if we go to response data, response headers tab, we will see that but request error is received. So what's going on? I already know that there is an issue with the verification token, which is hard-coded from our recording. And actually, site logic allows user to generate a new token in each session. That's why this value should be extracted from previous step. So what should we do? We can, via this view results tree, check the request, the first request open inside, and check if the response contains information about token. So here it is. It's actually hidden, request verification token. And here is the value that should be extracted and should be used instead of the hard-coded one. And what can we do? For this case, JMeter allows us a lot of instruments, and one of them is a post-processor called regular expression extractor, or regex. And it can, as it's named, it can extract specified data from response. In our case, we are interested in tokens, so let me name this variable as a token. And here we should specify regular expression. In order to do that, we should switch the view from text response to regex tester. And I actually forgot where is the part related to token, so let me copy it from this view. And let's switch back to regex view. And if we specify such like function, we will receive the list of matches. And we are interested in this one, 1, so we can just copy this regular expression and put it into this section. And here we should specify values according to our match number, and I'd like to add a default value in case when there is no value extracted from the previous request. And also, with view results tree, we can use an additional sampler that allows us to debug the values that are received during the test execution. So if we now take a look, we will have debug samplers with the response data that actually contains our token value. So it was quite successful, but okay, on current stage, we extracted this value and we should reuse it on the following request in order to replace a hard-coded one to a correct one. And we can do it in the same manner as for base URL. And let me just disable other requests as we are currently not interested in them. So after clearing and rerunning the test, we will see new result. Yeah, as you can see, login is now marked as green. So if we check with a HTML view, we will see that yes, user is actually logged in, and that's perfect. But how do you think, can we actually trust the JMeter in this case? So is it enough just to have the extracted value and to put it into the request? Probably not, but we can check it. So let me change the email to incorrect one and rerun the test. Okay, we can see that all the requests are marked with a green color, but if we check the response data in a HTML format for login step, we'll see that actually the user is not logged in, so credentials are incorrect, but we receive success response code, that's why it's marked as green in JMeter. So how such cases can be handled? JMeter has a special component. One of the ways, one of the most commonly used approaches to add response assertion, which will check if specified value exists in the response of related request. So in our case, it's about login. We need to check text response for containing. And as we've already mentioned, we see logout view only for users who are actually logged in. So we have these values saved. And now when we run the test, we will see that login step is marked as red unsuccessful because response assertion was failed. So it's a bit better now. And we can change the data back to the valid one. And what is the next step? I'd like to disable the next steps, adding the card and opening the card. So here we have also hard-coded value. This should be replaced by a variable value. And these parameters, we don't need them actually, because there are parameters from the session. And yeah, okay, we have quite successful result on this stage. And let's take a look what happens when we run all these steps. Okay, probably I have a small issue related to necessity of adding this step. Let's retry. Yeah, as you can see, the card is successful now, and we have a response body that's saying that success status is true. But, oh, sorry. I will switch to other view. Okay, and what if we want to extend our scenario, yeah? Graphical user interface is mostly used only to debug, to create the test plan, to fine-tune, and to specify the variables. And the test will be initially executed via command line, and we will have logs file. We will have GTL, JMeter report, generated after execution. And here, after clicking on this icon, we can see all the logs that are related to our current run. So what if we want to have additional information about the results of adding to cart of the other steps? So we know it only from view results tree that the step was successful. And yeah, what can be used? As usual, we have at least several approaches, and one of them is reusing the component that was covered for the previous request, so let's just reuse it. Let's add a post-processor regex extractor, and it will be named as success. And for extracting the desired value, we should go to tester view and to specify the pattern. Okay, and this one, and there will be comma. So we have a list of matches. We again are interested in match number 11. So let's copy the expression and put it here. So defining the values according to our match and setting default value. So okay, we extracted that success is actually true for our case at least. And how can we check if it's true, or how can we log this information about successful or unsuccessful execution of this request? JMeter provides some opportunities for customization using simple scripts in Groovy in other scripting languages. Currently, we're interested in GSR postprocessor. So it's related to our add to cart step, and we can just add a simple script to check the value of our success variable that is extracted from add to cart step. So check was get. Word get function can be used because success value is extracted to a variable. That's why we can retrieve the actual data. And now we can just add if condition to check if our variable is equal to true or not. Oops. And in successful case, we would like to see a message in logs like the product was added to cart, or to user cart. Okay. And it's about successful case, and for negative case, there will be else condition. So else, please display that an error occurred. I think that's it for this part, so let's check it. We will clear everything. So let's take a closer look at this section with logs. We have some information about the threads that were run. And as you can see, after executing add to cart step, we can see an additional row. The product was added to user cart. That corresponds to our expectations. So it's expected result as the retrieved success variable has a true value. So that's, I think, mostly all for general components. And now it's time to customize our test a bit more. With sending data from CSV files. Actually, on the stage of preparing load type, we create user scenarios that are similar to production users' behavior, and we have the list of steps through which we should go in our test plan. So there can be one value as in this one hard-coded value for adding the specified product for all the users for all the threads. But if we want to add a variety, we can use config file that is called csv dataset config. And if we put here the extracted from external file data will be shared within this thread group. So if we will specify the file, I've actually prepared it. It's called demo data CSV, and it consists only from 3 rows for add product step. So if we specify the path to it, so it's demo data CSV file encoding standard one, and yeah, here we should specify variable names. It actually corresponds to column name in the attached CSV file. So for a column, we would like to specify string add value variable. So all these values will be extracted and read as values according to the specified order in this CSV file. And now, instead of hard-coded in this request value, we can specify the value of our variable and check what we will receive. Okay, add card is successful. Let me check the request. Okay, the first value corresponds to the first row from this data set, so it's okay. And now if we go to our main element thread group, as you know, we can specify here the number of users, a ramp-up period, a period within which all the users will be joined to our thread or to go through our test plan. Count of loops, currently we have only one loop, and I would like to check if all the users, if different values are received for all the users. So we will now have 3 users that use the same credentials, but different values for this part, for agent card request. And now if we clear everything and we run the test, we will see that there will be more requests that are appearing corresponding to the process of executing requests for each user. So we had up to 3 threads. Actually, the number of threads doesn't always correspond to number of simultaneous users. It's just, I would say, maximum load for this test one. So now if in view results tree we will open a to-cart request, we will see that, yeah, there actually we indeed have values that are specified in our external file. So yeah, according to order of execution, that they are listed here. And that's I think a bare minimum with which you can try to create your first script. And the main point here is that, as we mentioned in the beginning, debug sampler and view results tree should be used only in graphical user interface mode while debugging the test, and it's strictly recommended to remove them when debugging process is finished, and to specify only those kinds of listeners that should be extracted. In our case, in today's tech talk, we are interested only in response time metrics. That's why we will use aggregate report. And after re-executing, yeah, we have just a few users. That's why it's okay to have the one in a graphical user interface mode. And as you can see, response time metrics are collected and aggregated into statistics view, and the most interesting metrics are corresponding to statistics. They are average, median, and so on. But the most interesting is percentile, which actually defines that these values that is specified to corresponding cell. Oh, sorry. is maximum to 90% of the users. So yeah, in my production experience, we used 95th percentile, and also we tracked such metrics as error and throughput. And as for throughput, it's also one of the key metrics in performance testing, and it reflects the number of requests per specified amount of time. And for our case in JMeter, it's duration of our test run. Probably that's it related to this graphical interface part. Now we can close it. And in order to run the test now, we should open the command line and specify bin folder of JMeter configuration, and I also have prepared comment. Some additional parameters can be specified here in order to customize your execution, in order to override some variables or user properties, to specify the name of the executed script, or to specify the name of desired for I'm sorry, for generated report, and we can run it. Here we have only the specified script name and GTL file. It's a JMeter report file. And if we will go back to our presentation, we will see that some additional views are possible to be extracted for our reports. And in this case, when we have a GTL report that is generated, for response time metrics, except for aggregate report, we also can extract HTML report from graphical user interface. And in order to do that, we can open JMeter tool, open generate HTML report form, and to specify the generated GTL that corresponds to our test execution user properties files that can be found in a bin folder of JMeter and output directory. And we have an example in presentation that is attached because, yeah, actually, I should reshare my screen. Sorry for...
Hello everyone again. Sorry, Camila disappeared. I think she will be back after some minutes. You can already write your questions. We had a great demo from Camila. And please write your questions because I don't see questions. And Camila is with us. Camila, please share your screen again.
Yes, sorry for interrupting the session. We will have presentation mode again. And what do we have? We have an example of the extracted... Oh, okay. Yeah, actually that's it. We have an example of extracted HTML reports that can be generated through the graphical user interface from the tools panel. And there, as you can see, there's much more samples and much more data that can be compared to the previous ones and so on, and that can be investigated. And there is just one more note about that. JMeter scripts are recommended to be executed in non-GUI mode, especially when the settings like number of users, bug period, and so on are specified according to production load. Yeah, it's a tricky case when you have it executed in a graphical user interface, so please avoid such cases. And there is an example for format for a common JMeter command where we can specify path to our script and path to generated report. Okay, and let's kick it off and move on to the next steps. So you had a general overview of performance testing uh, tools, Apache JMeter and JMeter, and what can be done next. If you'd like to dive into this topic, into performance testing, performance analysis, you could join EPAM internal courses, which are self-paced or mentor-guided. I specified several of them. And I also specified an external program from JMeter University. It's a free course, actually a set of courses with quite detailed explanation for all the JMeter components, with a description for different cases, with some instruction for fine-tuning your script in order to make it compatible to production user behavior. And with this knowledge, you could try to implement your first script using JMeter script according to or the other one. It's at your convenience. And after approving it with the project, if you will be successful in it, it's also possible to implement a pipeline integration for JMeter scripts. In my experience, it was about Jenkins, and with DevOps, we made a performance test part of our pipeline, and we tracked the metrics after each build. So basically, we collected the measurements from release to release, but this pipeline script also allowed us to monitor the metrics and if the code changes affected performance of our application. And that's it for the main part. I hope you found it useful, and thank you for your attention. Now we have a Q&A part. Rina,
Thank you
could you
very much.
please read the questions?
Yeah, thank you very much for such great tech talk. Thank you for your experience that you shared. It was very interesting, and we have already some questions, but we are waiting for your questions in the chat. First one, you mentioned that JMeter is open source. All the steps what you have done can be done without limitations or need by license. Thanks.
Actually, there is no license that is required for JMeter, so you can install it from Apache JMeter file. And basic configuration is actually enough to proceed with the steps that were demonstrated within this tech talk. So enjoy.
There was some clarification. Dmitry interested in running the script in CI/CD like Jenkins or Azure pipelines. Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible to make performance tests part of pipeline. Actually, in most part of cases, collaboration with DevOps is required. And on our project, I provided a Metascript and a command line in order to extract the desired format of measurements, aggregation report, and it was enough. So basically, it's possible. It's possible to integrate JMeter script with most part of CI or CD tools, but you need to investigate it if there is some specificity for your project.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. How can we check the duration of test execution if we use CMD executor? CMD. Sorry.
Actually, we have a GTL report that is generated after finishing the test, and also we have log files, but I assume that all the information about duration, about variables, can be found in GTL report or CSV report. It depends on what you specified in a command line.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Have Next question, and we are still waiting for your questions. Can we pass data between multiple API requests in JMeter for performance testing?
I assume that yes, but I didn't catch the question if it's about simultaneous requests or not. But actually, if it's possible to extract a result of one API request to use it in the next one, yeah, it's possible. And you can use regex extractor or other type of extractor depending on your needs.
Okay, thank you. And we're still waiting for questions. And please don't forget to write thank you words to Camila. Also send badges to her. We're waiting. That was perfect TikTok. Please don't forget. And next question that we have in our Wear community platform: how often should performance be measured? What do you think?
Actually, it depends on project goals and needs. We measured performance from release to release to compare the metrics, the response time measurements, because we migrated to other search engine. But it also can be performed when there are tricky changes that can affect your performance when there is refactoring of code and so on. Or it can be a part of pipeline if it's enough for your project just to track the uh, just to monitor the changes in performance metrics. It also can be related to resource consumption.
Thank you. We have one question, comment, but there are a lot of questions inside. I will read it one by one. Thank you for the presentation. Can you please advise, is it safe to use JMeter on production sites?
Actually, in my experience, we use Geometry on production side, but it should be approved with your product management at least. And I know that usual practice for performance testing is to use pre-production an environment that is close to production, but don't affect real users in order to avoid tricky cases as spikes and so on. That's why, yeah, please consult with your project if it's applicable for you or not.
Okay, and we have another question inside. What are the limitations of using it with production sites in order not to generate too huge load?
Mm, I'm not sure that I got the question.
I can repeat it
Uh,
if you want.
yeah, yeah, could you please repeat?
What are the limitations of using it with production sites in order not to generate too huge load?
Oh, actually, it should be compatible to your production load. So this data, like number of users, ramp-up periods, sync time, and so on, should be defined with business uh, analysts and product management part in order uh, to define the parameters that can be handled by your environment. So it should be compatible to your real user slot or just a bit higher. So yeah, it's not about specifying random values to number of threads or ramp-up period. It should be clarified on the performance planning stage.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Probably there are some sites available for training purposes specifically. Also, we have another question related to trainings, Geometry courses for links. Maybe we can send these links after, or you can send this now for me. Maybe, yeah, let's do
Oh,
it after. You will send to me and I will publish here in the chat.
yeah, I'll send the link to external courses and to internal ones.
Okay, thank you. We're still waiting for your question, your badges. Don't forget to send badges in our community platform. We have this opportunity after TikTok. You can click on send badge to speaker. Please don't forget for this option. And next question from our portal. What is the importance of ramp up time and ramp down time in the JMeter test plan?
Oh, it's a good question actually, and it refers to the previous one related to number of users and other parameters. We should add ramp-up period in accordance with the real world to avoid the cases when 100 or 1,000 of users are simultaneously joining the website, sending all the requests, or just pushing login form and so on. So it's mostly about avoiding such enormous load on your application and to avoid the spikes. Yeah, and also it helps a lot to fine tune the load type in accordance with real users' behavior.
Okay, thank you. I don't see other questions. If it's all,
Mhm.
I see thank you words, but not questions. I think we can finish our TikTok. Thank you, Camila, again for such great TikTok. Again, please don't forget about the badges, and don't forget to follow up in our social networks. Okay, hope you can see it in this slide and every slide. We have our pages Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Please don't forget. And see you on our next events. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.